I mean, it wouldn't be epic Greek mythology if we didn't have some pretty stunning boons and magical items as well, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a magic item section in this book. The there are overt nods to Greek mythology, like there's a nod to Pandora's box with something called the Pyxis of Pandemonium. And then you have things that are as epic as there are five artifacts in this book that are god weapons. These are the weapons of five of the gods that have showed up in cards. If you play Magic the Gathering, you've seen things like Spear of Heliod and the Bident of Thassa. These actually are named artifacts now in the book, and you could be gifted these things, or you might find these things, or you might have to steal and destroy one of these things.
Are any of them sentient?
Not in that. No, they're not sentient artifacts. Yeah, but they are. It outlines how you could destroy them if you had to, and it's basically its own epic quest to do that. Um, yeah, and so they're a ton of fun, and they are very powerful items, and I think you'll enjoy them. I said this on, I think it was on Dragon Talk or Lore You Should Know, but I will say this wherever I can. But we finally get a magical sling and magical sling bullets, and so
Magical sling
I am
bullets, yes.
so stoked, yeah, for this. That's like I think my favorite thing in the whole book.
Your favorite thing in the entire book is magical
Yeah.
sling bullets? Okay.
Yes.
Do they
Yes.
each do something different?
Yes, they have different effects, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Basically, be the sling arcane archer.
Yeah, yeah, and I think slings need some love. So
Fair enough.
I will say it wherever I can. Whenever there's a camera on me, I will say slings need more attention.
Well, why do you like slings so much? I want to dig deep into this. Why do slings need more love in D&D?
So a little while, I think a year and a half ago now, my brother bought me a sling, a shepherd sling, and then a few months later, oddly, Bill Benham, who works on D&D, also got everyone in the office a sling.
Okay. It's a very Bill thing to do.
Yeah, of course. So at lunch, oftentimes Adam Lee and I, and occasionally other D&D folks, will go and sling stones at Seahurst Park. So, and it's the most fun thing ever, and you get a sense that these should D4 damage is not necessarily enough for what these things can do.
No, it's not. I grew up with slings.
Yeah, I just love them, and so I want to make a character that has an awesome sling, and so this might have been a little bit of vanity, but I had to lobby for this thing.
You get to they stat out all the signature weapons of the gods. So you get Heliod's spear, Crusaor, and you get Perforos's hammer, and you get Thassa's bident, and you get Nylea's bow, all statted out for you, and you can check those out. Um, Also, you get sort of like magic items as epic quests, and what you need to do to go on these quests, and like giving you seed things, like basically like destinies, that your character, as you roll it up, and it's like at some point you get this epic destiny to go get this magic item that you can use to defeat a monster like Pelukranos, or like or you'd have to steal something from Hythonia, which is like Farrakha's champion Gorgon Medusa thing. So just an awful monster. So these magic items are, they're stories in themselves, and that magic items in this world in Theros are tied to the gods, that the magic items have been created by the gods. Sometimes they're bestowed upon you by the gods. You prove yourself to a certain point, and then the god bestows you this magic item and says, now with this magic item you've got to go do this epic quest. And with that, you do the quest, and then at the end of the quest, the god may relinquish that sword or that shield or whatever it is, or you may get to keep it. So that's a this thing. When I think about this thing, it's like so much fun for the dungeon master, because the dungeon master, through the god, gets to do so much fun stuff with the players, or gets to torment them, depending on what the DM wants to do. Like there is so much space to torment. Like you may be a champion of, like Karametra, and you're a ranger, and you're doing all this cool stuff. So as a DM, you can, through the gods, mess with your players as much as you want, because if they're a champion of, Karametra, and they're a ranger going through the forest, you could be, through Phoenix, the god of trickery and deception, you could come in and do whatever you wanted to mess up the party, or take them off their path, or to confuse them, or torment them in some way. Or you could be, if you're a DM and you want to, give your party a boon, you could come in as Eroas and say, your party has been very good, and you've been upstanding, and you've been great warriors. Here are some things to help you out on this next quest. Here's some weapons, or here's some skills. So it's a different kind of setting than the Forgotten Realms, where gods aren't just willy-nilly bestowing things or attacking you. Or in Theros, anything goes. And so the gods can come down and actually interact with you to help you or hurt you. And that's all within fair play for the DM. So, yeah.
Purchase your copy of Mythic Odysseys of Theros today on D&D Beyond. Link in the description.